Start recording. So, welcome everyone. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, 11th verse. Especially this verse is very, very popular, and this is one of the memorization verse. Why especially this verse is very popular in memorization verse is this verse is repeated in multiple cantos in Bhagavatam in a different way. This same verse is already repeated in the first canto, and now it is going, and it will be third chapter also. It is the same verse, and throughout Bhagavatam, at some point, this verse is repeatedly spoken, one form or the other. So we will see, what exactly this verse and why it is so powerful and kind of. So in the previous verse, the 10th verse, we heard especially from Sukadeva Goswami, he heard Bhagavatam from his father Vyasadeva, and he mentioned a person like Sukadeva Goswami is attracted to Bhagavatam. So that means Bhagavatam is something special to offer. Even a person like Sukadeva Goswami, who is not at all interested in anything that is considered material, he is not at all interested. Even he didn't wear proper dress, he didn't comb his hair or anything, and he just is like avaduta, or is a madman just walking. He's speaking to trees, and he is completely on a different world, on different level. So such a person is telling how important to or attend this Bhagavatam. So especially Prabhupada very nicely explained about who are the person qualified to speak. A person who is qualified, or a person who is speaking Bhagavatam, must be a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava. Even there are some speakers who are very eloquent to speak. They can give in and out. They can speak a lot about Bhagavatam. But if they don't have devotion, then it is useless. It is completely useless. There must be, what you call, there is a bhakti. There must be a bhakti. That is why it is Bhagavatam. Bhagavata means is basically a devotee. Bhagavata is a devotee, an advanced devotee. So Bhagavata book, Bhagavata scripture must be spoken by a Mahabhagavata, no one else. That is the requirement. And who is the one eligible to listen? Is everyone is eligible to listen? Yeah, we say in general yes, but if we really want full benefit of Bhagavatam or listening of Bhagavatam, then we must pay attention, attentive, right? Even in the material world also, those who are attentive, they get benefited. Same here also, those who are attentive, they get full benefit of Bhagavatam. So let us see what this verse is talking about today. So this is a very wonderful verse, and I think Prabhupada has given multiple classes on the same verse. And so let us see what this verse is offering. So please repeat after me. Etan
एतन्निर्विद्यमानानाम्
ichitam akuto bhayam
इच्छताम् अकुतो भयम्
yoginam nrupanirnitam
योगिनाम् नृपनिर्णीतम्
हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्
हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्
एतान्निर्विद्यमानानाम्
निर्विद्यमानानाम्
इचिता अकुतो भयम्
इच्छताम् अकुतो भयम्
योगिनां नृपनिर्नीतम्
योगिनां
योगिनां
नृपनिर्नीतम्
हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्.
हरिर्न
हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्.
Yes, whoever wants to recite, you can recite this verse.
I will read Prabhuji. एतन्निर्विद्यमानानां मकुतो भयं योगिनृपनिर्नीतं हरिर्नामानुकीर्तनम्.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else?
Prabhuji,
I
can I
tried.
recite?
Yes, one by one. You can try one.
Please read, Mataji.
Read, Mataji. I'll go next. Thank you.
Oh, Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Etannirvidyamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginam rupanirnitam harirnamanukirtanam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Nilima Mataji, you can read.
Yes, Prabhuji. एतन्निर्विद्यमानानाम् इच्छताम् अकुतो भयम् योगिनां नृपनिर्नीतम् हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? All right. Whoever is not read in the recent times would like to read the translation and purport. One of you, anyone who is not recently read, interested to?
I'll read Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Purport. In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialists who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment and thus are aloof from such an illusory way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord, who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor desire to get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord, Sri Krishna. In other words, the devotee of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotees can accept all sorts of material facilities, and if the Lord does not desire this, the devotees can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation, nor are they self-satisfied, because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Sukadeva Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. By offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord, and then within the attributes of the Lord, and then with the transcendental nature of the pastimes, etc. Here it is mentioned that one should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord after hearing it from authorities. This means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. Here, hearing of the holy name gradually promotes one to the stage of hearing about his form, his attributes, his pastimes, and so on. And thus, the necessity of the chanting of his glories develops successively. This process is recommended not only for the successful execution of devotional service, but also even for those who are materially attached. According to Sri Sukadeva Goswami, this way of attaining success is an established fact, concluded not only by him but also by all other previous acharyas. Therefore, there is no need of further evidence. The process is recommended not only for the progressive students in different departments of ideological success, but also for those who are already successful in their achievement as fruit workers, as philosophers, or as a devotee of the Lord.
Krishna Prabhu, you can stop here. We can ask another. Can another person read the remaining? Anyone else? One more person?
I can try, Prabhu.
Yes, Madhuradesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
So, where were we?
Yeah.
The first offense.
Yeah.
Srila Jiva Goswami.
Yeah.
Srila Jiva Goswami instructs that chanting of the holy names of the Lord should be loudly done, and it should be performed offenselessly as well, as recommended in the Padma Purana. One can deliver himself from the effect of all sins by surrendering himself unto the Lord. One can deliver himself from all offenses at the feet of the Lord by taking, by taking shelter of his holy name. But one cannot protect himself if one commits an offense at the feet of the holy name of the Lord. Such offenses are mentioned in the Padma Purana as being 10 in number. The first offense is to vilify the great devotees who have preached about the glories of the Lord. The second offense is to see the holy name of the Lord in terms of worldly distinctions. The Lord is the proprietor of all the universes, and therefore he may be known in different places by different names, but that does not in any way qualify the fullness of the Lord. Any nomenclature which is meant for the Supreme Lord is as holy as the others because they are all meant for the Lord. Such holy names are as powerful as the Lord, and there is no bar for anyone in any part of the creation to chant and glorify the Lord by the particular name of the Lord, as it is locally understood. They are all auspicious, and one should not distinguish such names of the Lord as material commodities. The third offense is to neglect the order of the authorized acharya or spiritual master. The fourth offense is to vilify scriptures or Vedic knowledge. Uh, the fifth offense is to define the holy names of the Lord in terms of one's mundane calculations. The holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord himself, and one should understand the holy name of the Lord to be non-different from him. The sixth offense is to interpret the holy names. The Lord is not imaginary, nor is his holy name. There are persons with a poor fund of knowledge who think the Lord to be imagination of the worshippers, and therefore think his holy name to be imaginary. Such a chanter of the name of the Lord cannot achieve the desired success in the matter of chanting the holy name. The seventh offense is to commit sins intentionally on the strength of the holy name. In the scriptures, it is said that one can be liberated from the effects of all sinful actions simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who takes advantage of this transcendental method and continues to commit sins on the expectation of neutralizing the effect of sins by chanting the holy name of the Lord is the greatest offender at the feet of the holy name. Such an offender cannot purify himself by any recommended method of purification. In other words, one may be sinful man before chanting the holy name of the Lord, but after taking shelter of the holy name of the Lord and becoming immune One should strictly restrain oneself from committing sinful acts with the hope that his method of chanting the holy name will give him protection. The eighth offense is to consider the holy name of the Lord and his chanting method to be equal to some material auspicious activity. There are various kinds of good work for material benefits, but the holy name and his chanting are not mere auspicious holy services. Undoubtedly, the holy name is holy service, but he should never be utilized, he should never be utilized for such purposes. Since the holy name and the Lord are of one and the same identity, one should not try to bring the holy names into the service of mankind. The idea is that the Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer. He is no one's servant or order supplier. Similarly, since the holy name of the Lord is identical to the Lord, one should not try to utilize the holy name for one's personal service. The ninth offense is to instruct those who are not interested in chanting the holy name of the Lord about the transcendental nature of the holy names. If such instruction is imparted to an unwillful audience, the act is considered to be an offense at the feet of the holy names. The tenth offense is to become uninterested in the holy name of the Lord, even after hearing of the transcendental nature of the holy names. The effect of chanting the holy names of the Lord is perceived by the chanter as liberation from the conception of false egoism. False egoism is exhibited by thinking oneself to be the enjoyer of the world and thinking everything in the world to be meant for the enjoyment of oneself. The whole materialistic world is moving under such false egoism of I and mine. But the factual effect of chanting the holy name is to become free from such misconceptions. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this is a wonderful verse, and in fact, this purport has two portions, especially the first portion. He is providing the three category of people who get benefited, you know, three category of people who get benefited. And then, you know, by constant chanting, these three category of people benefited. Now this mistakes against this chanting, that is the second portion discussed. Especially there are many Maharajas have delivered wonderful lectures on these 10 offenses. Great seniors and scholars have delivered. So each each mistake, each offense discussed in detail. That means 10 offenses, 10 weeks, 10 classes, like that they have been discussed. So we are not going that detailed, but if anyone interested to really understand these 10 offenses in detail, if you go to internet or YouTube somewhere, if you type 10 offenses of holy name, you will get tons of lectures given by all these great personalities, Amarendra Prabhu and Nitai Sevani Mataji, and some Maharajas has given. So you can find so many lectures on them. So you can read it. So this verse is especially important because here it is clearly telling whether one is fully desired, he wants to achieve something passionate, or one who is not at all interested, one who has knowledge of, okay, whether I do good or bad, I still stuck to this material world. This is basically a Gnana platform, knowledge. So he is very well versed with this material elements. Okay, I do good, then I go to Swargaloka. Then once my punya is done, I will come back. I have to suffer. If I do bad, I will go to hellish planets. I suffer. I come back. So I go up and down in the cycle. Up and down in the cycle. So no matter whatever I do, I still stuck here. So why do I need to do? This is the kind of knowledge. This is called a Jnana platform. So I am know what I am doing it. So these kind of people are looking for liberation. I don't want to suffer in this material world. I don't want to serve anyone. I wanted to be aloof. I don't care for anything. So these are the people who go on meditations and those kind of, they don't care for anything. So one category of people desirous for everything. Another categories of people, they don't desire anything, they want it to be liberation. And the third kind of people are the devotees. They don't despise of anything, or they don't attracted to anything. So for them, they don't care for anything at all. Their main goal is how to satisfy Krishna. How do I make Krishna happy? By doing what makes Krishna happy. That's all they do. Their goal is to make Krishna happy. Say, suppose if Krishna make me as a poor person, and if that makes Krishna happy, make fun with him and wants to play, that's fine. But if he wants to make me the millionaire of this universe, then that is fine too. So either I could be an ant, I could be a Brahma, but it is all up to Krishna. This is a kind of mentality. These are devotees. All these three kinds. What is the solution? Chanting. Chanting. So the same verse, if we look at it here, if the same verse, and if you say akama, anyone remember this verse? Akama? Anyone remember this one? This is a famous verse. You shouldn't miss it. See, we are here, second canto, first chapter. Here, second canto, third chapter. What is this verse he is saying? Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Here, what is the difference? Here, whether one is full of all material desire, without material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship. There he said chanting Harer Namanukirtanam. Here Ejeta Purusham Para, worshipping. What is interesting actually? Can anyone recognize a pattern here or something which gives some kind of, especially Bhakti Shastri students who are going through nectar of devotion, all these details, they should find something very interesting in all these verses. And also I will show another verse where it says that Yasyam vai Shruyamanayam. I think 177. Yeah, it is 177. Okay. So let us look at this verse also. What is this verse is telling? These are all very, very important verses, especially whoever is, what is it? Yashyam vai Shruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsam Soka Moha Bhayapaha. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service for Krishna sparks up at once, extinguish fire, lamentation, illusion, and fearlessness. So here especially asking to listen, oral reception. So what is very interesting in all these verses? Anyone remember? So I will give a hint. What are all the topmost 5 activities that are suggested for a Vaishnavas to follow? What are the 5? We discussed this earlier too. What are the 5 activities prescribed for Vaishnavas to follow?
Chanting, worshipping the Lord.
Yes, chanting, worshipping the Lord. 2 are over. What is the remaining 3?
Offer or taking prasadam.
Are you guessing, or is it you remember?
The third one
Devotees
I'm guessing.
association. Devotees association.
Yes, devotees association. Yes. What else? Devotees association, worshipping, chanting. What else is left? 2 more left. Come on, you are not thinking. It is very easy. Just now only we saw it one.
Staying in Dham, Prabhu.
Yes, staying in Dham. What is the last one then? What is missing?
Reading books, Prabhu.
Yes, listening or Bhagavata Shravana. Correct. Just now only we read, isn't it? What is it is? Oral reception. Oral reception. If we give oral reception, we get Krishna. So if you look at it, all these verses at the end asking us to follow either chanting, listening, worshipping, staying, and with the association being in the dham, isn't it? Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtana, Bhagavata Shravana, Madhuravasa, Sri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevaya. So these are the 5 activities that is saying it. So all these 5 activities are repeatedly spoken at different places in Bhagavatam. Unless until it is important why people like Sukadev Goswami or Krishna repeatedly speaking the same thing, same suggestion, isn't it? In a different way. So it is very, very important for us to take this as seriously. Why this chanting is so important? It is chanting is non-different than Krishna. We can please Krishna by a sincere chant. If Krishna pleases, we don't need to ask anything. We can take an example, simple example. In our home, father automatically takes care of all the family members, isn't it? All the children need not to ask anything the parent. Parent automatically takes care of them. But in return, if any of the child recognizes father's effort and for his birthday, if he offers a chocolate, if he offers a little bit in return, hello dad, happy birthday to you. A small token of appreciation. What will happen? How much father will feel? Unimaginable happiness, isn't it? Lot of times we are under the impression that if I buy something very expensive, father will be happy. If I do something substantial, father will be happy. No, no. No parent is expecting any great things or something like that from the children. All they need is a genuine, sincere appreciation. A genuine, sincere appreciation, that's all. That's all the parent want. They didn't want anything else because parent is self-sufficient. Parent is not depending on the child. All he wants is a true love from the child. If the child is sincere and true, then father don't need anything else at all. That is exactly what Krishna is looking. Krishna is looking a sincere appreciation from us. That appreciation comes in the form of chanting. That appreciation comes in the form of worshipping. That appreciation comes in the form of listening. So here, especially the previous verse telling that we have to be a very good listener, and now this verse is talking about a chanting. See, these two are very interesting. He is asking the previous verse, listen, and this verse, chant. So we should understand very, these two go together. We should never make them as two separate entities. Listening is one entity, chanting is another entity. No, these two are together. A simple example. Right now on the call, there are 10 people around. Okay. If I ask someone, Prabhu, can you read? You all 10 people listened, right? But one will read. That means when I said, Prabhuji, can you read? You all heard. But that is only completed when one of you read, one of you read that. That means my question or request answered with an effort. Then that is completed. It doesn't mean that you heard and your job is done. No, you heard and you applied and you executed. So the process of listening is in turn to speak, isn't it? In turn to speak, in turn to apply. So when we are chanting means we must listen also. Chanting doesn't mean that my mouth and tongue chant Krishna's name and I don't listen. My ears don't pay attention at all. My ears listening some nonsense, my eyes watching some nonsense, my mouth chanting Krishna's name. That is not chanting. That is not chanting. That is not what is expected. Chanting means attentive. When the attentive will come, when we pay attention, that means listening. Listening. Why should I listen? Why should I listen? I'm speaking. Why should I listen? I'm just asking a common question to everyone. When I'm speaking, do I need to listen or I don't care what I'm speaking? When I'm speaking, do I have to listen or not?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, we have to listen.
Why should I listen? Actually, I am the one speaking, so why should I listen?
Because of if you want to speak correctly, you have to listen, Prabhu, without any offense or something like that.
Any other comment from anyone? Why should I listen when I'm speaking?
Prabhuji, after listening only, you will understand what you are saying, whether it is correct or not.
That is exactly correct. Is Ramakrishna Prabhu mentioned, that is more elaboratedly Mataji put it. If I don't listen, then it will become blabbering. That means my speaking, whatever I'm saying, doesn't make any sense. Gibberish. So when I pay attention, then I know what I'm speaking is making sense to the others or not. Very important. 2, when I'm speaking, someone replying it. That means I said something, someone said something in return. If I don't listen, then what is the point? This is like one way speaking. Talk. This is useless. Why? Because I am the only one talking. Talking is never a single act actually. Talking and listening is together. So that is why the previous verse suggested that listening is very important and this verse suggested that chanting is important. So now combine these two. That is what it is, a sincere chanting. So our chanting we do every day. Now think of it. What is our chanting? So are we paying attention to our chanting? If we did, then that is a sincere chanting. So in chanting, we have 3 stages. The first stage, Nama Aparada. Nama Aparada, basically, we name itself is indicating Aparada, doing mistakes in Nama. Right? Nama Aparada. What is this Aparadas means? That means I am chanting but not paying attention. Simple examples are chanting and phone ringing and suddenly stop chanting and picking the phone and talking. Or otherwise, we keep the phone at our ear, the other person is talking, I'm listening, but my mouth or in my mind, I say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. So that means I'm just chanting with my mouth or my mind, but I put my attention on the person whoever is speaking on the other side. Or otherwise, this is another famous one. So it's basically taking the chanting bag, going outside to a mall, and in the mall, whenever you feel time, Hare Krishna, then you look everywhere, clothes and price tags, all these things, and searching and everything. This is all we are doing is completing the rounds, but not sincere chanting. These are all called Nama Paradas. We are making mistakes against the Nama. That means what exactly? You are calling the name of Krishna, and Krishna is present, and Krishna is talking back, attended to your call. Now we are ignoring Krishna. Isn't it? I called Krishna, Krishna presented, and I ignored Krishna. This is exactly the same thing I gave the example. When I sent a request to all of you, you all heard, but none of you responded. Then what it is mean actually? It is not that you didn't listen. You have proper, perfect, hearing, no issue at all, but you never responded. That means ignored, neglected. Ignored, neglected. That is what exactly if we don't pay attention to our chanting. So when we are chanting, Krishna is present, but when we don't listen, then we neglected Krishna. We called the guest, but we never invited the guest properly in home, properly, make him to sit and offer some fruits, water, something to sit him and that all. But we didn't do that. We just invited him, but we are on our own. We invited, we are on our own. That is exactly what we are doing with Krishna. This is Nama Parada. Nama Bhasa. Nama Bhasa is the second stage. That means when we sincerely try our attempt, then what happens is I pay attention. Once in a while, it will slip. I go here and there, I go here and there. It will slip. But I will bring it back. So while chanting itself, once in a while it goes, but I recognize right away. Oh, okay. I'm thinking something else. My mind is going somewhere else. So I will bring back. This is Nama Bhasa. That means consciously I'm trying to chant better. Constantly trying, chant better. This is Nama Bhasa. So this is second stage where we are doing less. And especially for this reason, we were all asked, if possible, chant in a specific space, wherever you feel comfortable, sit, if possible, close your eyes, half closed or whatever the way, whichever is convenient to you, and focus on listening. Why especially asked to sit at certain places, I have seen and I experienced it myself. When we are walking, what do? For walking, what is the first thing we need it? For any person to walk, what is the first thing he needed? He needed, especially, very, very important. Can he close his eyes and walk?
No, Prabhu, we need to watch the way.
Yes, we need to watch the way. Now what happened? When I'm walking, my eyes looking everything on the way. Sides, front, back, everything, I got distracted. Any small noise, sound, extra, unusual thing, everything caught my eye. That means what? My eye is going everywhere. If I am inside at particular place, my eye is not going. My mind is not searching. Eyes means mind. Eyes gather everything and give it to the mind, and then mind start analyzing it. Mind start analyzing it. That means we have to shut off the eyes such that mind cannot go after things. So once we start walking, this is exactly what is going to happen. That is why when you are walking, have you seen Japa walk? Japa walk. What is Japa walk actually? Japa walk is in general, if you see it, there won't be any people around it. There won't be any city or something. Japa walks are normally at trails, in between trees. In between trees or some places. There is nothing to, go differently, search differently or something. This is as good as the same thing. In the temple too. In temple also, if you look at it, big temples, 5 to 7, they assign it for chanting. There, everyone is chanting, you are chanting, your mind is forcefully dragged back to listen. So the next person, whoever is sitting, he is also a devotee chanting. He is constantly reminding you. So one way or the other way, we have to do this one. This is Nama Bhasa. And the final one we talked about is Shuddha Nama. Shuddha Nama means perfect, full attention. Like, our Goswamis, Haridas Thakur, all our great acharyas, they do what is Shuddha Nama. That is why with the Shuddha Nama, they are able to achieve what is we are seeing it today. Shuddha Nama. Shuddha Nama, there is nothing they can't achieve it. With Shuddha Nama, all our Shat Goswamis are able to see Radha and Krishna. They are able to see. Anytime they are in trouble, Radha and Krishna, they come running. Our Prabhupada is able to achieve this much great thing because he is very sincere in his chanting. Our Maharajas are achieving such a great things because they are very much sincere about their chanting. They have faith in their chanting. We are all met Gopal Krishna Maharaj yesterday, right? One time Gopal Krishna Maharaj was here in Richmond, especially at our home, on a dining table while he is eating. We are talking about it. I think either I asked or someone asked one question. Because Maharaj, you are always busy with taking care of these temples, building temples, administration work. When do you do your sadhana? You know what Maharaj said? I wake up at 2:30 and before 4:30, I will finish all my things. What are all things? He is chanting and he is worshipping his personal deities. He has personal deities. He worships them, his personal deities. That means, see how much sincere he is. He didn't even miss a single day. He is such a sincere soul and sincere about chanting. They took very serious this chanting. We can achieve anything with the chanting. Padma Purana very clearly saying that. What is it is saying? Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvam Nami Namino. Isn't it? Purna Shuddha, it is perfect. There is no impurity. This is called the purest of pure. Nitya Mukta is always free. There is no condition. There is nothing to do with the Gunavataras or anything. And then he is saying Abhinnatvam Nami Namino. So there is no difference between Krishna, the name, and Krishna himself. They both are exactly one and the same. So this is the reason we should take this chanting very, very seriously and do it. So here especially saying Harir Namanukirtanam. This verse repeatedly comes many places. In the 8th canto also this comes very, very nicely. What it is saying? Mantrata Tantrata, what is that? Mantrata Tantratas Chidram Desha Kalarha Vastutaha Sarvam Karoti Nischidram Tava Namanu Kirtanam. So we may do mistakes by wrongly pronouncing these mantras. We may miss these tantras by performing wrongly. And we may do things at wrong times, wrong places, wrong. Everything could be wrong. But all such wrongs can be corrected. All such wrongs. Sarvam karoti nischidram. That means every single act can be corrected, perfected. Thavanamanu kirtanam. By following yuvara. So yours, anukirtanam. That means following. Anu means following. Here also, Hare Nama Anukirtanam. Same example, isn't it? This is 8th canto. As I mentioned, lot of places this is being repeated. So I will stop it here and we will discuss about the 10 offenses in the next class. I don't want to rush this particular verse. This verse was spoken like many times, many people. And I sincerely would like to every devotee to read this purport one more time and spend little time on these 10 offenses. Especially these 10 offenses are from Padma Purana. The 10 offenses we read every single day they are from Padma Purana. So spend little time on these offenses, and the next class if possible, each and every devotee speak few lines about that particular offense. Any offense which you feel this is very interesting offense, Prabhu, I want to certain people like certain offenses. Like means basically they have some affinity. Yes, this could be the most prominent one, or this could be the most prominent one, or this is the easy one to correct it. So you have some affinity, some interest, some opinion. So I want each and everyone pay little attention on these 10 offenses, and if possible, speak a minute or two. I'm not asking you to speak 30 minutes or so. All I'm asking is speak a minute or two. That will help you. That will help you, because the more you speak about your shortcomings, then we get the clarity, and eventually we get the solution too. See, especially why I'm saying is this walking and chanting, I have the experience. I do. So that is why I choose paths. It is my weakness that I couldn't sit for 2 hours and chant. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't. Either my knees give up, or at the max I tried like probably 15-20 minutes I can do it. Afterwards my knees will kill me like anything or something. So I walk. So I choose paths that nobody will be there, or there is no one to speak or anything, and this is the same route I know every single day. I can walk even eyes closing it, so I know exactly. So there is no distraction for my eyes anything anywhere other than just walking the same road again and again. So This is some of my experience I wanted to speak especially for this verse. So the next class we will discuss about the remaining 10 offenses. So I'll stop it here, and I sincerely request every single one of you are at least doing this chanting for quite some time, and if you can speak few lines for another 5-10 minutes, that would be real wonderful. So I will stop it here, and if you have any comments, please, it's all yours now.